sec. We've got 73006, 73004, Bluebell Railway engine. You have to get out and take a film of them in a minute. Right. It's very unusual to get 2 EDs on this.
I'll tell you what, Mark, we've got to clean these windows.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's do that then, shall we?
Call it any petrol stations.
The jumpers are up underneath so that when we open the diesel on the front it'll go on the back.
Decent train, I thought it looks a bit. Decent train. I just want to get some water.
Use the diesel for a little while, but we don't want it backing up, going up that bank.
Got the other side of London. Here he comes, the most important things anyway. He's got the coffee. Most essential. Right, what do you reckon, Mark? Do you think you'll make it with these two then?
Well, we've got 2 engines and they're 700 each horsepower, which is about 150 horsepower under what we normally have for 1 engine.
You seem to think the rear ones are going to pack up somewhere.
No, we've topped it up for water, the rear one. But it's the length of the train, and I've got to take it.
Why did they give you a Crompton then?
They run out.
Are they?
Yeah, so we've got these 2 things. I've never gone over with 2 EDs.
It should be good.
With this length of train.
Right.
So we may end up with some assistance. Touch of the old, somebody come out to bank us.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see how it goes, you know.
Right, okay then, Mark.
We've got 28 wagons on. It's the 23rd of October 1987. And the train number is 6M91C.
6M91.
Yeah, that's it, like I said. 28 wagons, 646 tonne. Well, that's not too bad. I mean, it's about 900 to limit for going up North Cole Bank. Length is 1,207 in length. And it's 60 mile an hour. And I think we're just about to go. We're just on the off. Now we've got both engines are both working together, and we'll be alright. Oh yes, I can see the smoke coming off the seat. We're getting a lot of noise, but there's not a lot happening. I'll give you a rundown of what's all on the desk in a minute.
The most important thing is my coffee here.
Yes, quite. That's the most important thing for this.
Actually, folks, it's the first time I've ever had a cup of driver's coffee. Normally it's the other way around, especially with this bloke Keith here.
Now we're just stopping on the shunt signal. When it lights white, that means we're away. The orange goes out and the white goes up.
13:40 we're away from here, aren't it, to Willesden?
13:40, yeah. You very often leave a bit early. I don't know if the up passenger's gone. We usually go up behind the up passenger. Hopefully, if we can get in front of the stopping Gravesend up, we don't have to follow it. I'll give you a quick rundown of what we got here. So, that's the list of what we've got on the train. This is the fire alarm bell. I won't ring that because the engine's stopped. It's an overload reset if you overload the engines on electric or diesel. That's the lube oil switch. You don't get these on the modern ones. That's to prime the engines before you start them. It's engine start, engine stop. That's the amp gauge. Tells you how much amps you're taking. That's the speedo. These are your various fault lights. We hope that one at the bottom doesn't come on. Various faults you get if it does. You've got to remember what they are before I start trying to tell you. This one up here, that gives you the notch indicator. It tells you how the camshaft in the engine's progressing up through series power and so on. That's the engine.
Can you tell a lot from that then, whether the engine's working alright?
It's not that important actually. On the newer ones they haven't got so much of it on there. But it'll tell you whether you're in series or parallel, you know, if you're overloading it, if you're coming up to a gap, if you're on electric. That's the diesel with engine stop. So if that one comes up red, we've got problems. That's your line indicator. In fact, most of these are painted up, you can't see them anyway. Once we're on the electric, you'll see that light up, or hopefully it'll light up. That's your vacuum gauge. We won't be using that today because we're not on the vacuum, it's an air brake train. That tells me how much air is going into the brake cylinders on the engine, or on this engine. It doesn't tell me any more than that. The red one is the brake pipe, and the yellow one is the main res. The compressor makes the main res, and the main res charges through the brake amp to make the brake pipe. And we have to keep a 72.5 right through the train to keep the brakes off. This is EP switch. Use this if you're tied up with an electric train. That's a shoe down button. You can use that to find out if there's any electric there. I won't use it because I always end up with lots of trouble with those things. There's also the speed up if you're using vacuum, which we're not. This is a sound button when we start slipping.
Which we're not going to do today, Mark.
We hope not.
We hope not.
That's the wheel slip button. Again, that gives you a bit of sand, a little bit of brake, stop the wheel slipping. That's your AWS reset button. You'll see that later on, and that's the AWS indicator. That's a straight air brake. That's the brake for the engine and the train. So this one we only use this when we're stopped. So
with that one lower down, it's like an old shooting match.
Yeah. There, we've just seen the up passenger train go in front, and we shall hopefully latch onto the back of that.
Not too close. Not too close, we hope.
And that's the louder phone there.
Right, so we're actually ready for the off now, with Mark.
Yeah. That's the electrical controller. We'll see us use that in a minute. And that's the diesel controller, which we'll be using to take us out of here.
Onto the juice, because we've got no third route here until we get out to the main line.
Yeah, that's right. That's the ignition key. That's the master switch, and you can also have it in series and parallel forward, which means the current goes to the motors separately, as opposed to them all together. You know.
Right.
Neutral, forward, and reverse.
So this is it, then, Mark. Ready for the off.
It's an SSF fitted, which means if you try and put it in neutral going along, the brakes will go on. And the thing down here, the pedal, that's the driver safety device or DSD or
So hopefully it won't happen today, but if he was to have a heart attack,
hopefully the train will stop.
hopefully the train will stop. Maybe I can grab something and make it stop.
That thing there, we've got our jackets on. That's the.
That's how to steer it with, is it?
No, that's the handbrake.
That's the handbrake.
It's shut down and the air's all gone.
Hence the famous
Stop it going
expression,
away.
screw it down, eh?
Yeah, that's right. Hello, mate. If you want to, you can film out this window here, so you can see the train coming out.
Right, let's go. Well, it's coming out all right, Mark. We're not left nothing behind.